Hare Krishna. Welcome again to our evening Katha. We were very sorry we didn't see you for the last couple of days, but by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, it was just some ordinary little fever and it went away. And we're back in good health by all the prayers. We thank you very much for all the wonderful prayers the devotees sent. So again, we're back here with you. And today we'll go to Kadamb. And Kadamb is the bhajan place of Srila Rupa Goswami. You don't dare to say bhajan kutir. If you do, the Kadamb Baba will become very angry. Rupa Goswami wasn't in house with air conditioner like you. He was sitting under the tree. No bhajan place, not bhajan kutir. And many wonderful cowherding pastimes of Krishna happen in this place. So because it's the bhajan kutir of Srila Rupa Goswami, first we'll sing a very beautiful song glorifying Rupa Goswami in his form as Sri Rupa Manjari. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. Another beautiful song of our Narottam Das Thakur. Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sambada Sei Mor Bhajana Pujana Sri Sei Mora Pranadana Sei Mora Abharana Sei Mor Jivanera Jivana Sei Mora Rasanidhi Sei Mora Banja Siddhi Sei Mor Videra Dharama Sei Mora Seitapa Sei Mora Mantra Japa Sei Mor Dharma Karama Anukula Hobe Vidhi Sei Pade Hoi Besidhi Nirakibo Edu Inayane Sei Rupa Madhuri Rashi Prana Kuvalaya Shashi Prafulito Habe Nishidine Tua Ardarshana Ahi Garale Jaralade Chirodino Tapita Jivana Chirodino Tapita Jivana Ha Prabhu Koradaya Deha More Parachaya Narotamo Loilo Sarana Narotamo Loilo Sarana Narotamo Loilo Sarana Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada Sei Mor Bhajana Pujana Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Srila Rupa Goswami Pada Ki Jai. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. So this one I found written on the little shrine for Rupa Goswami there in Kadamb. Adadanastranandantai Ridam Yache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janma Janmani. Adadanas Trinai Dantai. Dant we know is tooth, and trin is grass. I'm taking grass between my teeth. Adadanas Trinandantai. Ridam Yache Puna Puna. Puna Puna, you know, again and again. Yachna is to beg. I'm begging again and again. Srimad Rupa Padambujo, Duli Shyam Janmajan. May that dust of the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami be mine. Janma Janmani, birth after birth after birth. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kipasindhu vaevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So again, we welcome you after a long gap to our evening Katha. We hope you're all home safe and increasing your hearing and chanting, taking advantage of this dire time in our lives. Today, our wonderful Prime Minister just sentenced us to 20 more days of lockdown, but he may, if we're good, those places that are good, then maybe by, what date? 20th. I think by 20th he may lift up some restrictions for those places where there's not much spreading of corona. So today we'll try to spread karuna to help in that endeavor. So as I said, today we're going to a very beautiful place, not far from Nandagam, a kilometer or so away, called Kadamb. Ter means to call. We'll hear later why it's called Kadamb. And Kadamba, we know, is a very wonderful tree that has a very, very beautiful yellowish flower, just the color of Srimati Radharani. In fact, in Sanskrit, Kadamba means group, so it's not one flower, but a whole group of flowers in a little ball about this big. Little group of flowers in a little ball. So it became known as Kadamba. And very soon, in end of May, the bloom will start. In June, it really gets into full run. And then July, if there's rains, again, there's full bloom of Kadamba flowers. And because of the color of Srimati Radhika, then Kadamba tree represents Srimati Radharani. Just like the tamal tree in our courtyard represents Krishna. We talked about that the other day. So used to be an old Kadamba tree there under which Srila Rupa Goswami would sit and write so many scriptures. The Rupa Goswami we have to understand very carefully, because he was mentioned twice by Sriman Mahaprabhu. Not just once, but twice. I think we discussed this the other day. Once when he was staying with Haridas Thakur in Siddhabakul in Puri, where he was locked down from going into the Jagannath temple because he had become servant of the Muslims, so they rejected. Hindu society was very rigid, so he was elected from Brahmin society. But anyway, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Jagannath, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, used to come and daily see him. In this way, he used to get darshan of Lord Chaitanya. So we discussed, that's right, when we discussed that verse. Ye ko mara hara tara saeva hivaras saeva chaiprastapas. That I'm feeling separation from that young boy that stole my youth and stole my heart in my youth. It is the same Chaitra, the same month of Chaitra. This Chaitra month is actually running right now. It is the full moon that's coming up in a few days. I am the same Radha, you are the same young boy, but I want to go back to the Betasi tree underneath by the Reva river. So only Rupa Goswami understood this. He heard Mahaprabhu singing this in Rath Yatra, then he wrote another verse. Explaining that this was the separation of Radharani, and although she was seeing Krishna in Kurukshetra, she was feeling separation from that Vrindavan atmosphere. Whole mood of Vrindavan is take Krishna back. Whole mood of Rath Yatra is take Krishna back to Vrindavan. So he wrote this verse. He stuck it in the thatch of his hut. He went to take his bath. Mahaprabhu came along with Swarup Damodar. He saw this verse, he looked at it, and he showed it to Swarup Damodar, how Rupa Goswami has understood my heart. And Swarup Damodar read this verse, he was surprised. That time Rupa Goswami came and Mahaprabhu very playfully slapped him on the back. And he asked again Swarup Damodar, how this Rupa Goswami has understood my heart. And Swarup Damodar says, unless you have given your mercy upon him, nobody can understand. He says, yes, I met this Rupa Goswami in Prayag, and seeing him a fit personality, I have bestowed my entire transcendental mercy upon him. Then another day he brought Ramananda Roy. Ramananda Roy began to ask questions, and so many verses are there. He said, especially tell that verse that everyone hears it, becomes joyful. Tunde tundavani vitanute tundavali labdaye karna krora kadambani vitayate sarvindri karna krora kadambani gatayate karnar brudeba spriham preta changani sangani vidayate sarvindriyanam kritim no jane janita krishneti varna dai. I do not know how much nectar in these two words, Krishna. When I hear it, when I sing it, I want to have so many tongues, Tundavali, so many tongues. And when I hear it, Karnarb, I want to have billions of ears to listen to that nectar. And when it dances in my heart, all my senses become inert. I do not know how much nectar is there in these two words, two syllables, Krishna. Anyway, they described all the verses then. Swarup Damodar said Ramananda Roy said, this is not a drama, this is a constant flow of nectar. Without your mercy, nobody can write poetry like this. And second time Mahaprabhu says, yes, I met this Rupa in Prayag, and seeing him a vit personality, I have bestowed my entire transcendental potency on him to describe Ras. So when we were discussing that Vidagdhamadav pastime the other day, we mentioned that this was started in Braj, continued in Puri and Orissa, but I have heard from old saints that it was finished here at Kadamb. And many, many books Rupa Goswami wrote here at Kadamb. He would sit under that Kadamba tree. In fact, even though Kadamba tree is not a very conscious entity, very dull consciousness, when he would write about the separation of Radha and Krishna, all the leaves on that Kadamba tree would fall down just like tears and become leafless, even if it's springtime like now. And when he had again write about the reunion of Radha and Krishna, then fresh little buds and beautiful leaves and little buds would form and beautiful Kadamba flowers would bloom no matter what season. Such was the influence of such a great Vaishnava as Rupa Goswami. Even dull-witted thing like a tree was affected So he wrote many books underneath this. In fact, Nectar Devotion, we're not sure, but most acharyas and scholars believe, is the last line of Nectar Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Rupa Goswami says it is such and such day of such and such year, and the such and such half of such and such month, and I'm sitting under a Kadamba tree completing this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So he doesn't say directly, but indirectly he says that he said, I'm sitting under a Kadamba tree. So most acharyas believe this is where Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu was finished. Mm-hmm. And here there's a beautiful little shrine there for Rupa Goswami. Inside that shrine we see a very interesting picture. Rupa Goswami is sitting there writing scriptures, not on an iPad, but on a leaf pad. And he's sitting under the Kadamba tree writing scriptures, and behind there's a little golden gopi girl carrying a big clay pot. So what happened was, one day Rupa Goswami was thinking, my brother, Srila Sanatana Goswami, he's staying there at Pavan Sarovar. We'll go to Pavan Sarovar one day also. Mm-hmm. And I like to give, he's my older brother, Jace Brata, I would like to give him something nice. So those of you who've been to Terkadam, you saw it's out in the middle of the fields, nothing is around, there's nothing there. We can just imagine 500 years ago how desolate a place it must have been. There was no Govindas, no MBT restaurant, no Bharati foods. None of these things were there. Where he'll find something nice, but he was thinking this within his heart. So while he was writing, this beautiful little gopi girl appeared. And Rupa Goswami looked up. Now Rupa Goswami, he's not attracted to anything material in this world. But as soon as he saw this girl, he immediately became vimohed, completely enchanted. Though he's not attracted to anything material. And the girl began to tell him, oh Baba, there was wedding today in the village. Some sweet rice is left over, some kheer. So my mata told me to go give it to some Baba doing bhajan in the forest. So you please take this kheer. And then our Indian girls, they're very, 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 very shy. She's all in the forest. Some strange Baba is there. She handed that pot to him, and ding, 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 she ran back to Nandagaon. Then Rupa Goswami looked at this kheer, not ordinary kheer. We put a little raisins and cashews and some cardamom, and we think we got fancy sweet rice. But in India, when we want to make sweet rice, we know how to make nice sweet rice. Not just raisins and cashews and cardamom. We put kesher, what is that, saffron, and little brown balls we call makana, puff lily seeds, if you've seen before in the market. And, what is that? Chironji, a type of seed, we put little chironji seeds. Very opulent sweet rice was there. So he was very happy. He ran to Pavan Sarovar to Sanatana Goswami. He said, oh brother, I brought some nice kheer for you. And Sanatana Goswami looked at this kheer. He said, this is very opulent kheer. He's living out there in the middle of the jungle. Where he got such kheer like this? So we asked him, where he got this kheer? So one little gopi girl came and she told me there was marriage in the village and some kheer was left over. And Sanatana Goswami, marriage? Because Sanatana Goswami, we hear in the Sad Goswami Astaka, the Goswamis, they were dear to the Dira, to the ruffians and gentle people as well. So everybody used to come to Sanatana, he was, oh Baba Gosai, oh Baba Gosai. They would tell him all the news of the forest, of the village. That so-and-so got married, so-and-so died, so-and-so bought a new house, so-and-so plowed his field. Every knowledge will come back to him. Like that. So he knows everything. Wait a minute, no village, no marriage in the village today. And no village, no wedding today. What did this girl look like? Oh, she had beautiful golden complexion, lotus petal eyes, beautiful black choti braid, like that, so soft and so sweet. Then suddenly they both realized at the same time, oh no, that must have been Radharani, and they think we're chanting Hare Krishna, that Krishna and Radha let us serve you, and we've taken service from Radharani. And mixed with their tears, they ate this sweet rice. In fact, they broke the pot and they kept little pieces in their dhotis. And they would take a little piece and just suck on it. And again, tears and trembling and everything would come in their eyes, just remembering this, that Radharani was so kind. And even today, there's a girl in the village named Radha, and every day she comes to offer kheer to Srila Rupa Goswami. And when you come there, Kadamb Baba, he's very happy to give that kheer to you. Now this is some of the 500 years ago pastime, 5,000 years ago pastimes, different thing. Because it's a little far from the village, this is where Krishna's cowherd pastimes took place. Before he was Vatsapal, he was taking care of the Vats. Vats means calves. But after the Gopastami day in Kartik, then he was given charge of the cows. So he has to go far with the cows. So Kadamb is a little far from the village. So Krishna would come there because he has 9 lakhs of cows. You know 1 lakh? 100,000. So 9 lakhs means almost 1 megabyte. So for herding all of these cows, we need lots and lots of cowherd boys. So all the cows would come there, and cowherd boys would come, and Krishna would get to Kadamb. As we heard, Ter means call. So he would see that not all the cowherd boys are there. So he has a special mobile phone, just like we've all got our cell phones, with number from 1 to 0. But Krishna's phone only 0000000. And Krishna is our only hero. So he's got special cell phone. So he would call on his cell phone, Ter. Oh, Sri Rama, Sudama, Stoka Krishna, Madhumangal, Vasugama, Sangramajit, please come to the forest. We need lots of help to take care of the cows. And then all the cowherd boys would call out, and even Kadamb learned a little Russian language. Idu, Idu, we're coming. So then all the cowherd boys would come, and some of them would be dancing in the sand. There's beautiful soft sand there underneath the kunjas of the trees, and they would some of them are sitting under the kunjas chanting the holy names of Krishna. Some of them are swimming. Beautiful Kadamb Kund is there swimming like this. They're all doing different activities, and the cows are grazing. So this goes on till about noontime. All the cowherd boys become a little hungry. So all of them used to hang their lunch bags in the tree. Because in Kadamb we'll see many trees that are bending over and calling down to the ground like this. These are special trees called dungar. They're very common all over Braj. They try to grow straight, but they're melting in Krishna Prem, they come down. So it makes like a little kunj. So we're sitting in the little kunj with the Rupa Goswami. So anyway, and they would tie them there, then they would come and get their lunch bags, and they would all sit down, they'd see that Krishna is not there. But Krishna, he's the Supreme Personality of God, he's never hungry. Another name is Mitabuk, who never has hunger. How something with no beginning, middle, or end will become hungry? He'll never become hungry. He's unlimited. By the call of the devotees, he becomes hungry. So all the cowherd boys, they didn't see Krishna. How they can eat without Krishna? Not like us, we're hungry, we just eat. We don't care if the seniors are there or not, we don't care. But no, they can't eat without Krishna. So then all the cowherd boys, they don't have mobile phone, they have their own echo sound voice. And they all call out, Krishna! I can't hear you. Call out, Krishna!
Krishna!
Please come take your lunch!
Please come take your lunch!
We're all hungry!
We're hungry.
And Baba learns Russian. Idu, I'm coming. The Krishna comes and all the cowherd boys sit around him in circles. The Astasakas sit around Krishna, then next 16 more, then 32 more, then 64, then 128, then 256. After a while, there's so many groups of cowherd boys sitting around Krishna. But most amazing thing is, everyone sees that Krishna is looking straight at them and at nobody else. No matter where they're sitting, even backside, they see Krishna looking straight at them and nobody else. Like that. Then they sit and take their lunch. And then sometimes Madhumangal comes, he takes a bite of his sweet, and he offers to Krishna. Oh, just see what type of laddu my Maya made. Now, did we learn that in the Bhakta class? That we take a bite and we hand to our friend? And especially your friend happens to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we found the Pujari eating the milk sweets before Mangalarti, we'll take a stick and drive him out of the temple. But Madhumangal, they just have love for Krishna, so he's taking bite. And Krishna's taking bite of that eaten laddu and saying, oh, your Madhu, very nice laddu maker. Your Maya, very nice laddu maker. And Krishna takes bite of his laddu. You taste my laddu. See what Mother Yasoda made. Like this they're enjoying in the forest. But Krishna is only half full. Because now this is after Gopastami, they're far in the forest. Because we know in the village, when he was in the village, and he could easily get butter. In the jungle, where are we going to find butter? But Krishna can't be satisfied without butter. But butter is in the village. So Krishna again gets on his mobile phone, and he gives Ter, this place called Ter Kadamb, under that Ter tree, that Kadamba tree, he gives call to the gopis. And the gopis have prem sim within their heart. Oh, my dear friend Lalita, Visakha, Chitra, Champaka, Omega, Malini, Gomata, Ganga, please come, I'm very hungry, I want some butter, please deliver very quickly. And the gopis call out, we're coming, we're coming. So they come into the forest, out to Ter Kadamb with their butter, but they can't see Krishna. He's at backside in the forest somewhere. They're like Banki Bihari Darshan, they're looking for him. But there's Arjun, there's Leelakar, Prabhuji's there, so-and-so is there. Then finally they open up. And they don't have mobile phone, they have own echo sound voice. And they call out, oh Krishna!
Oh, Krishna!
Come get your butter!
Come get your butter!
Idu! I'm coming! And Krishna comes, but we're out in the forest, there's no plates and cups and things. How is he going to eat butter without a plate or cup? And even today, because then what happened, the Kadamba trees, their leaves are just like a hand. Have you ever seen a Kadamba tree flat and just like a hand like this? But that day, just for Krishna, they made their leaves just like donas, leaf cups. It's like when you come to India, you eat out of a leaf cup. We solved the pollution problem all over, long thousands of years ago, but now we're copying the West and polluting with this plastic. But leaf cup is there. And Baba is keeping one in the shrine. If you ask him, he'll show you one dry one. Even today, sometimes we get this leaf cup. So then the Kadamba trees made leaf cups, and Krishna was able to eat his butter. So then, in the afternoon time, when we do that Uttapa and Artik, 4:30, 4 o'clock Artik, that time of day in Brijbasa we call Go Duli. Go, I think you know by now, cow, and Duli means dust. Because that is the time for the cows to come home. And when the cows are coming home, they kick up Duli, dust, and that makes a cloud in the sky. So that cloud appears in the sky, we call that time of day Go Duli. So it's time for all the cows to come home. So Krishna climbs in that Kadamba tree, and he gets out his mobile phone, and he gives a call to all the cows. And all the cows, they hear Krishna's flute, they all come running. And when they all come running, Krishna's got a type of japa mala, just like we've all got our tulsi mala. Krishna has 108 different jewels mala. And like we're counting names of God, Krishna's counting groups of cows. Because we heard there's 9 lakhs, but they're divided in basically 4 groups. The white cows, the yellowish cows, the black cows, and the reddish cows. Then, those 4 groups divided into 25 small groups, subgroups, means 100. Then there's 8 special groups of cows. Those that are chandan colored. Then there's a group with big spots. There's a little group with small spots we call kapilgai. Then there's one group of cows called mridangamukhi. I still want to see face like a mridanga. And there's another group of cows with a face I'm not sure I want to see, singamukhi, like a lion. And another group with tilak on the forehead, different types of tilak. Another group with different types of stars on the forehead. Like that, 8 special groups of cows. So Krishna takes one jewel of his jewel mala and he touches the nose of the leader of each group and makes sure that all the leaders have come. And when he counts all the 108 groups, then he sees if all the 9 lakhs of cows come. Because he knows all of their names according to their colors. He knows all the cows. Just like white cows, one is called Chandani, means moonlight, Chandrika, moonbeam, Safedi, Safed means white, Sweta, just like we know Swetadweep, white, or in Russian we have Sweta, Svetlana, a very famous name of girl. Sweta, Chandani, Chandrika, Motika, Moti means pearl, Motika, Hamsika means swan. Then there's the yellowish cows. Pili means yellow. Pili, Pitambari is also yellow. Pili, Pitambari, Pingala, Gori, then Gange, because Ganga's in the yellowish cows. Those of you who've been to Prayag, you know from this side Ganga comes very golden color, light color. And Jamuna comes from other side, very, very dark, deep, bluish, black color. And at the Sangam you can actually see the waters mixing together. So Ganga's in the yellowish, Ganga, Giriraj Sute. Then we have the blackish cows. Kali. Kali we know means black, but in Brij Bhasa we mix our R's and L's around, so we say Kali, Shamala, Shamangi, Krishangi, Krishnangi, all these different names like this, all mean blackish. Then we have, and Kalindi, we just heard, Jamuna River is very, very dark color. So Jamuna and Kalindi are in the black cows. Jamune, Kalindi, like that. Then we have the reddish cows. Lali, lal means red. Lali, kumkumi, sinduri, and aruni, just like sometimes we sing Udilo Aruna Purava Bhagi, when the eastern side becomes tinged with arun, reddish color. And we don't see the Saraswati River anymore, but from Shastra we learn when she was flowing in very reddish colors. So Saraswati is in the reddish cows. Then there's Mridangamukhi and Singamukhi and Taravali. Taravali means she has so many stars on her forehead. Tilakini with the tilak. So if Krishna sees that some cow is missing, then he climbs back into that tree and tear again he gives call. Now all the cows heard Krishna's flute. They all know it means it's supposed to come home. But some of the cows are more clever. They know one thing. If they don't come, Krishna will climb in the tree and give a tear, give a call by their very own name. Now you just imagine Krishna calling your name by his own lotus mouth. How much nectar that would be. So Krishna goes up there and he's calling out Taravali, Hamsika, Ganga, Gomati Ganga, Malini Priti, and Anjavati, and Arjun, Leelakar. Who else is out there? All you guys making comments. Narottam Priya, Nitai Madhav, Chaitanya Avatar, Bhakti Devi. He calls that cow by her name. Just imagine Krishna calling your name with his own lotus mouth. So much nectar. And you see in cows, their ears are hanging like this. But as soon as Krishna called their name, boop, the ear comes like this. Just to catch all that nectar. And when the nectar fills up to the top, it doesn't overflow from here. The overflow is coming from here. Then those cows come running with their legs stretched forward and back, and then together and forward and back, and milk bag is going ka-choong, ka-choong, and the cows are going and they all come running to Ter Kadamb, to be with Krishna, to go home. So for all these reasons, this place became known as Ter Kadamb, sometimes calling cowherd boys, sometimes calling cows, sometimes calling gopis, sometimes calling for butter. All these reasons it became Ter Kadamb.
You can speak a little low, you're shouting a lot, you lose your voice.
And it's a very, very sweet place. When we go there, we can hear peacocks. I remember when I first came to Vrindavan, 1974, all night long we'd hear the peacocks. We go to Ter Kadamb, we hear the peacocks calling, we hear the kokilas. Now the kokilas have started to sing. And the doves are calling, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham, Radhe Sham. So we hear all these things. Ter Kadamb, there's nothing around except fields and trees and very beautiful kund. So a wonderful natural place. Not far off is the village of Javat, where Radharani stays, along with her so-called husband Abhimanyu, and her sister-in-law Kutila, and her mother-in-law Jatila. And every day she comes from Javat on the way. Whenever she's staying at Javat, because sometimes she stays at Javat, and sometimes she stays in Barsana. So whenever she's staying at Javat, then she comes with all her friends. Now you've seen in the villages, those girls who were married in that village, they always cover their face. Those who live in that village, have their father's house there, they don't cover their face. The ones who have their husband's house there, they cover their face. So all the gopis have their faces covered, and they're walking very silently, carrying all their milk and butter and yogurt and things to cook for Krishna to go to Nandagam. So all you hear is the ching, 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 chingity, ching, ching, chingity of their ankle bells. And it's Kartik times, it's a little cold, so little puffs of breath are seen in the air, coming out from underneath their saris. And suddenly they come to a little fork in the road. One bypasses Ter Kadamb, another one goes through Ter Kadamb. So Champagalata says we should go by the bypass. And Radharani says, why? He said, we may meet that fellow there. Who cares for him? It's shorter to go through Ter Kadamb. So they go through Ter Kadamb, and actually within Radharani's heart, she's hoping there'll be some interaction with Krishna. If Krishna's there milking his cow, he doesn't see Radharani. And she's swishing her sari in such a way to make some noise. She's just hoping and hoping and hoping there'll be some sort of, the Krishna just absorbed. So she walks in such a way that the edge of her sari touches Krishna's arm. And Krishna turns the teat of the cow and squirts her right in the face, and she covers up her face, and with a big huff she runs off to Nandagam. On the way home, again she takes the path through Ter Kadamb. And they see Krishna is there with his friends. And Radharani has this beautiful pearl necklace. And the pearls are so shiny and so clean that she can even see her own reflection in the pearl. So as they come close to Ter Kadamb, she takes her finger and ping! She breaks that pearl necklace, and all the pearls go all over the ground, and the little gopis are grabbing the pearls and seeing Krishna's reflection, and sometimes stealing direct views as Krishna as they all collect the pearls from the ground. So this place is a very wonderful place, Ter Kadamb. So many wonderful pastimes and so beautiful. Even now it's one of the most natural places in Braj. I can't imagine during this lockdown, so desolate, very peaceful place. Ordinarily it's also a very peaceful place. So we thank you for coming along with us today. So tomorrow again we'll meet you here at this same place, 5:30. We hope you all remain safe, remain Krishna conscious, and Hare Krishna. How many are out there today?
111 as of now.
111 of you. Hari Bol.